what do the stars mean? I have a new thought process on what the stars mean.
Okay, take me through it.
I think if you have more than 2 stars, you are safe right now. And anyone with less than 2 stars is eligible to go in for an elimination. Or the female with the most stars, the male with the most stars, take it to the final. Like whether you win the next challenge or not. What up, challenge fans? We are Final Alliance Podcast. We just finished watching episode 7 of the Challenge All-Stars Season 3 titled Let's Make a Deal.
Yep, let's make a deal.
We got our trivia, which is my favorite. It's always my favorite episode.
Yeah, we briefly talked before this episode. It's going to be fun to break this down a little bit, but there is not much to this episode because the highlight of this episode is the trivia.
Absolutely.
This is TJ's episode. This is the one. Oddly enough, though, TJ doesn't win the episode.
I don't think so either. We haven't talked about this yet, so I'm curious.
So I can't wait till we get to that. But so that this one is. I thought we'd talk about this every week. They'll give you foreshadowing, whatever else, and I kind of looked at it a little differently this week because they went a little differently as well. But this one is not a hard one to put together to produce at all because it really is. I mean, TJ takes over. They said right away that laugh. We know it's trivia.
Yes.
Right when they got up there.
I loved that. They're like that smile, that laugh. We know what's happening. Yeah. And did you get we knew from the preview that was what it was going to be, but you still get excited.
Yeah, he's so good at how he delivers everything. Yes. And he's just like, hey, how did you know that? And he's like, because you got it wrong, So it was good. Yeah. So you can take us through the episode and break it down with you. So
it starts. John A is sad because her biggest ally in the game is home. I think it's her birthday, Mark had said. And they're playing sad music. I think it's raining. And Mark, cuddles with her. He's like, I'm about the same size. You feeling okay? Yeah. And she just, we see her in an interview saying, I'm alone in this game now. Mm-hmm. Which I guess we could say that would be foreshadowing. Yeah. A little bit. So I guess that's why, previous episode, they all had one big birthday party. So, yeah, that would fall under the roof that it was a birthday party. I didn't catch that, nor do I care. Yeah, it just, all right, yeah, I'll be a substitute MJ or whatever else. I mean, get your tears out. You should have already got them out anyway. And then, then the whole thing, I didn't think it was real, and he gave it a look, but when she's like, I'm coming for you, D. Oh, she said it. I feel like that was very much joking. But I liked his face. I liked his face, though, and he was like, she's like, you're enemy number 1. Yeah. And he's like, I have a target on my back right now. Oh yeah. And he's like, stars and he's like, where's MJ's crown? Mm-hmm. Johnny's like, I'm still wearing it. Yeah, that's right. I did enjoy that. Then we go into a phone call. It's Veronica's girlfriend and her dog makes an appearance. Her name is Alexis. It's just a cute interaction between the two of them. And I liked that she said that her girlfriend had grown up watching the show, and was really rooting for her. I was like, I love that. Yeah, she's kind of a fangirl. That it just kind of all worked out for her. So good for them. She also said she had recently bought a house, and I believe she's in the Bay Area. Okay. So we're in Iowa. Yeah. So home prices, holy macaroni, I can't even imagine. So good for you, girl. She probably could definitely use, and that's what she could use the money for. That's, her house. Same thing. Now we get to hear about Derek as well, because we haven't heard in previous episodes that he's engaged and that he has a son. I mean, yes, we get it, but here's where usually the foreshadowing from the producers is more on the negative side. Who's going to go home? We won't get that till later. They do deliver that to us, but this one is more, hey, we're going to give a little bit of story because these people actually are going to come out on top for trivia. Absolutely. Yeah. And did you see Veronica had bruises all up and down her arm? Mm-mm. When she was during the phone call, she had bruises on, I don't remember which arm, around her bicep. And I'm like, oof, that must have been from one of the previous challenges. Yeah, had to be, yeah. Kellyanne goes to talk to Ronnie. She's like, this is an avenue I haven't tried. Let's see. Yeah. So this is one of the few deals, right, that's going on here. Right. That we're trying to do. Yeah. I'm not going to say your name. I don't want to use my sabotage on you, but let's work together. Right. And Ronnie's like, I don't want to be seen talking to her. I don't I'm with the treehouse and I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that. And, Kellyanne's like, I don't want to go against her in an elimination, but she does say, if I have to, I'm sorry. Yeah. Then we go into the challenge.
Yeah.
I think the song that they played, I don't know the title, but I think that was the intro to Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
The one with
It was like wah, wah.
Christy Swanson, or the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar?
The TV show.
Okay.
The TV show.
I wasn't big into that one. I liked the movie better with Luke Perry and everything.
Yeah, that was better.
Yeah.
I've actually been thinking about going back and watching Buffy the Vampire
Slayer.
Slayer.
I did the series?
Yeah, I did
I
seasons 1 and 2 when it was on, because
yeah.
it was on either before or after Dawson's Creek, when I was in junior high.
Okay.
So I would watch it, but then I fell off at some point. I'm like, maybe.
Are you saying it was on the
whirl.
time slot, or it came out before or after?
No, it was maybe Dawson's was on at 7, and then Buffy was on
right
at
after,
8,
yeah.
or Buffy was on. I think it was Buffy was on at 7.
I was not.
Dawson's was on at 8.
I was not in junior high, so I could probably go. I probably went to the bar after Dawson.
But you still watch it. You did not deny
I still
it.
watched it. Oh yeah, of course I did. Yeah, I mean that may. Yeah, there was an odd time in my life when I was wherever Dawson was going, either the blonde or the brunette, that I decided that's where I wanted to focus on. Few lady friends. I was just like, let Dawson make the decision this episode. It's a weird time in my life. It is weird.
He's after Jen. You're like, oh, hey, blonde girl.
Yeah.
Blonde girl from New York who's had some trouble.
I wasn't that out there, but yeah.
Goody blonde neighbor.
I had a few friends that one
Across
was
the
a blonde
creek.
and one was a brunette, and I was like, well, Dawson made the decision for me, so this is going to be an interesting weekend. So maybe that's what I did afterwards. That's what I just called him up and was like, hey, I want to go meet for a drink. I don't know. It was, like I said, it was a weird time in my life. Then Dawson was making decisions for me. Yeah. So that's why I didn't watch Buffy, I guess.
Pacey would be the person who I'd want to. Well, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, at that time, Pacey was going after teachers, and I was like, I'm not in high school
that
for this.
Storyline, man. That was Tamara.
Yeah.
So we've gone.
Yeah. This is the terrible television we watch.
Anyway, so the challenge starts. I think that was the Buffy theme song. I don't know. Tell us if I'm wrong. I probably am. And you see, what we just said, TJ is smiling. He's so happy. You see, looks like a platform over water, and everyone's like, I know what that means. Mm-hmm. It's trivia.
Yeah. Now we get to see how dumb they actually are. The only one that's good. I mean, who knows if Wes is being honest or not or whatever else, but he said he didn't want to win. He wanted to burn the first one.
That was a terrible decision.
I mean, that ended up biting him in the rear. And by the way, you notice how they don't have a follow-up with him saying, I guess I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
I mean, yeah. So the question was kind of odd, though. I mean, even though they said it was an easy question, I'm like, yeah, I get where it's at if he's throwing that. I knew the answer.
Same.
It was just kind of like 30. It has 30 days in it.
I literally went. I'm like, no.
They all have
one. February is.
But
28.
January does have exactly 30 days in it. But just 31 also plus 1. But it was April. I mean, we all
right. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, April.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, yeah, it was a layup. Why did you get that wrong?
But then he winked at the camera. But
I don't think he actually did. He wink?
Yeah, he did.
He did wink.
In the confessional, he's like, "I'll wink," and then it's out of his right eye. He does because they're like, yeah, and then he just turns his head a little bit and then he winks. So and it's not even here because they all had cameras mounted. They knew that they had a camera on him, hard camera. So
interesting. So it's called Shooting Stars.
Mm-hmm.
They're hooked to a supersized slingshot.
That was cool.
You get asked a question, you get it right, you get to throw a strike at somebody.
God, they were so dumb.
If you get it wrong, then you get a strike. 3 strikes, you're out.
Now looking back on it, outside of TJ laughing, delivering everything else, there were portions where I got angry about how dumb they are. The Lance Armstrong really did it for me. I was going to throw a turkey sandwich at the TV. That was enough for me right there where I'm like, this is not.
Yeah, for a smart guy, that was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But they all say, and Bananas has said this on his podcast, it's like, you could be asked the easiest question, but it's the situation you're in. It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, but you can still hesitate. There's not a clock on there. And there are hesitations. There are.
Right.
Jordan was the one that wouldn't hesitate. He wouldn't think it through, and he'd answer, and he had back-to-back ones wrong because he just answered, boom, boom, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. So I did get a couple wrong.
Okay.
I got the Olympic circles
5
wrong.
rings, yeah.
I thought it was 6 for some reason. I just quick said 6, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't right. The elements.
I didn't. What was I? I had solid, liquid, gas, and is that right? I didn't have the
You
elements.
said, yeah, I didn't have that one either. I was kind of going the route she went, like Captain America, like
Yeah.
wind,
So that
water,
one,
heart.
I think that's about the only one. I mean, the freezing the Celsius, that's
Or
fine.
Captain Planet, not Captain America.
Yeah,
The Celsius, that was
It's
easy.
gonna kill me. Yeah.
What was another one? Portuguese, knew that.
Yeah.
Did not know Kylie Jenner was that in 2019.
No, I wouldn't have known that.
Once he
I
said it, I remembered it.
I do not know their name of their baby. I don't care. I think it's like
I think
Southwest or whatever else.
Northwest. I
North
think they
Sea?
call her Nori, but I don't know any others.
I don't care.
Because
That
I haven't
was-
watched
I
in
felt-
probably a decade.
I felt good that I didn't know that or who Blue Ivy was. I felt that.
You didn't know who Blue Ivy was, though?
And once it came out, but I wouldn't have. It's not a name that I would think of. And if you asked me like, what's the name of their baby, I wouldn't have got it. Jay-Z and Beyonce. But if you say Blue Ivy, then I can do it. So
Right.
I was like, yeah, all right, whatever.
What celebrity back in the day had a daughter named her Apple? Movie star.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes!
All
See,
right.
you know this.
All right.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Give yourself a little more credit.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. Probably read like an Us magazine and it stuck with me or something. I don't read those anymore. Though. The section where they're just like us. Yeah.
Oh,
Walk
yeah.
their dogs. Yeah.
So the sabotage means you start with a star or start with an X.
Yeah.
Brad kind of panics, sabotages himself, but like what I said last week, there's nobody he is going for anymore. He only was going for MJ. Everybody else he's working with, and he had not liked sabotaging Jordan or putting Jordan into an elimination when they did earlier. So I thought that was actually a pretty smart call.
I didn't mind it. To be honest with you, I didn't mind it at all, and I didn't mind Kellyanne using hers the way she used it. I mean, Veronica came a little foul on it, but
she
that's all right.
went to Veronica, and I immediately when this challenge happened, I was like, Veronica's gonna kill. Veronica's always good at these, so I thought that was the appropriate place to put it. Now, why the girls that are not aligned with the treehouse didn't just follow suit and just keep giving them to her, I don't understand.
Again, it goes back to the episode when we talked about giving signs or whatever else. Like, you can tug for whoever name or whatever. I'll tug right ear, left ear. But then again, who's going to say they're going to remember because they're up in those heights and you can't remember anything. You can't remember. Oh, gosh, what else today? I mean, I guess maybe the spelling would be tough up there, but a lot of
Spelling,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I could not spell ophthalmologist. I could tell you an ophthalmologist
Yeah, I
is an
couldn't
eye
spell
doctor.
ophthalmologist. Yeah.
I could tell you they're an eye
And I knew
doctor,
a
but I can't.
podiatrist was a foot doctor.
That was like the easiest one.
I do think this, and I understand it's probably a random draw after the sabotage comes, but you want to be on the reverse side of that snake angle.
Yes.
Because it goes down and back. You get two in a row. Mm-hmm. That's where you want to be because now you can load up on someone. And everyone just goes, if you happen to get two in a row, everyone's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm going to just throw it on that person just because I'm not going against Veronica right now if you're lucky. So I think being on that snake end, I mean, obviously, if you start, you're going to get it two. You're going to have three questions before that person has, they do. But I'd like to be where Veronica was situated at.
Absolutely. I agree. Also, Derek called Brilliant Brad with his brilliant beard.
Yeah.
When he sabotaged himself.
Yeah.
I love any use of alliteration.
Yeah.
Like, I just love it. Starts with the women. Immediately, Veronica is sabotaged. She says, F off Kellyanne.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see Kellyanne before, and she's like, F her too.
Yeah. F everyone. Yeah.
John A. misses a question about Tiger King, which was crazy to start.
See, you're just going to get me angry all over again. The Lion King in 2020. Like, okay.
Well, yeah, I was going to try to defend it, but Disney Plus.
The only thing that could have, defended it or whatever else is if she heard, if she would have said stranger, and then he goes, no, it's Tiger. She goes, I thought you said things, not king. That's the only one that they're, other than that, that's terrible. So.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So Kellyanne's out first, no surprise. And who else? Kayla got a question very wrong.
She did.
I don't even remember what it was. Oh.
Well, she got it right, didn't she? And then she goes, see, I know things.
But
she started
then
off
it was Lincoln.
Oh, my gosh.
I have a confession to make.
Paul Smith?
Well, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I have a confession to make. When I heard linked to assassination, that linked to, or whatever that word before was, had me instantly thinking Kennedy. Sure. So I could not get out of my head Lee Harvey Oswald. And then I was like, wait, he said Lincoln. And I went blank.
Oh, yeah. But.
So I need to do some more trivia nights is what I need to be doing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
1 week into summer vacation, this teacher's just turned off the brain.
Yeah, so like I said, yeah, is that the one where Wes said, like, shooting stars, but they're not very bright stars?
Yeah, he said, just because we're all stars doesn't mean they're bright stars.
Bright stars. There you go. Yeah.
Ronnie, Kayla, Veronica are the last three. Veronica wins on a question about who likes it when they call him Big Papa. And she had to think about it. And she's like, Biggie Smalls?
That's another question right there that you could have give two answers. And it's the same answer.
I would have said Biggie would have been my
Biggie,
answer.
Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls. Like his real name, there's like so many different ways there. That one I was like, oh. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, I would be like, come on, you can give multiple answers there and it's right. I mean, but either way.
It was a good guess.
Yeah.
Men's heat. Wes throws the first question, which I wrote in caps and underlined twice that was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end, when it's the three of them, when it's Mark, Derek, and Wes, it's very obvious that Derek and Mark are like each other's number one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Wes even tries. He says, spread it around.
And that would have, if he hadn't have done that would have been his second, not his third.
Yes.
Then we have the Brad question that happened that we have to talk about. And I think that was I'm nominating that for cringeworthy moment of the night.
Lance Armstrong? Yeah, that's
first man to walk on the moon.
It's cringeworthy. I just told you I was going to throw a turkey sandwich on TV.
Lance Armstrong.
The first astronaut to walk on the moon, and he says Lance Armstrong. Like, that's just like telling me like he just want to be slingshot into the air. He was like, oh, I'd rather go for the ride.
And Derek, who hates trivia, I think it was Derek, goes, it's the biker, bro.
Yeah. It's like the kid in the class that thinks it's fun to be stupid. Just funny. And
you think he did that on purpose?
I can't imagine. I mean, why you would say that?
On purpose.
There's got to be something. Like, your brain's got to be screaming, like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. And then he goes, Lance Armstrong. And then your brain's like, you idiot. So
Derek and Veronica are the authority. I'm instantly like, okay, this is a good thing. This is going to be interesting about who they're going to put in. Because for the men, it's like, Derek was talking about Nehemiah earlier.
And they had their moment on there. They showed Derek talking about where Nehemiah, he said him and his guys puppeteered me into elimination, and I got taken out last year. So it's a no-brainer. I'm going to give it to him. Nehemiah gives him the double birds.
Right.
And he does send one back to him his way or whatever else. So they kind of, it looks like that direction, like Nehemiah is the one that's going to be put in. Yeah.
And he's not like working with him like he's working with the majority of the rest of the house. And then Veronica I've always admired her strategy and how she plays the game. So I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. It's party night. They hit us with Tipsy, which I love that song. Give me flashbacks to college. They're playing beer pong. They're doing sack races. They're doing limbo. You see Mark and Veronica dancing. He like dips her. It just looks like a fun night.
Sure.
It's not a theme party, which was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Veronica fell down 3 stairs when she was walking in to the party. We don't see it, but later her and Kayla are talking. She's like, how many stairs, like how far did you fall? And she's like, I went down like 3 steps in unsupported shoes. She's like, because I was really excited about pizza. I don't even like pizza. But you see her big toe, and it's like like right through like the kind of like the bendy part of the big toe. It's very like blue, like black and blue.
I know where you're going with this.
You do. So I feel like maybe she's going to go home next week.
Someone's going home next week.
And I feel like that's her.
Yeah,
they're going to say...
TJ does not say end your time in the middle of the daylight unless someone has to go
Right.
home.
I feel like it's going to be swollen, and then they're going to be like, let's get it checked out, just like it's a protocol, and they're going to be like, nah. Because like, you can break like your little toe or whatever, and it's just fine. But your big toe, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
And you have to, for your balance, and you can't... you want to say, well, can they buddy wrap it to your, middle toe, whatever you want to call it, the next index toe, whatever's next to it, and you can't. And she's only going to make more damage because there's going to be a lot more that she's going to have to do on her feet.
Absolutely.
But we're speculating.
Absolutely
we think
speculating.
It is, yeah.
I just think based on
good call on that one.
Why would they have told us about it? Why would they have told us about it and shown us the pretty bruised big toe?
Yeah, and then not seen the thing because now they can go back next episode and show her tumbling down.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so
oh, no.
I think you're dead on this one.
I hope not, but that's what I think is going to happen. So next day, Veronica and Ronnie are talking. Ronnie decides she wants to start talking game with Veronica. I don't know. It seems like it's fine, you know. And then Kellyanne comes over to walk, and she's like, I feel like I'm on The Bachelor. Like, can I steal her for a second? And they all laugh like that's cute. And then it's just like dead silent. Yeah. And then Veronica's like, just give me a few minutes. And then you see Kellyanne in her like confessional, and she's like, well, I think I'm going in because that was really weird.
yeah.
It's like, that didn't go well.
Which also could have been nominated for cringeworthy moment. But
right,
yeah.
It was so uncomfortable. I feel so bad for her.
I know.
There is a bad. You know
there is a way that feel bad because she's really is on an island on her own, and she's trying, and she realizes she has to create some type of allies. But I mean, there's not a lot of strong gameplay outside of the treehouse, to be honest with you.
Realistically, yes. Mark and Derek are talking, and, you know, because Mark is now in the authority. I'm sorry, Derek is now in the authority, and Derek's number one is Mark. He wants to save him. He wants to figure out a way to save him. And, you know, any of the people that are coming up, like Wes or Jordan or Nehemiah, it sounds like they're all going to pick Mark anyway. But they're like, or Mark says, well, if you pick Wes, then he can put his money where his mouth is and pick Jordan. Yeah. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen.
That's what I thought as well. But but Wes plays two different games, and they all know that. They're saying that. Like, he's going to zig when you think he's going to zag, and that is a risk. So that is a risk because he just because he says that, you know, he came out and he said, you know, we weren't just crying wolf. He is the wolf. Doesn't mean he's going to pick him in the elimination.
Right.
You know,
you still have to think about your own game and like.
And because he's not going to take Brad, he's not going to take Nehemiah. He'd have to pick between Jordan and Mark.
Right.
So it is what it is.
Kellyanne and Veronica then talk, and Kellyanne's like, you know, I'll keep you safe if I have the opportunity, and she's like, well, you just used the last sabotage on me, so
yeah.
And then the authority meets, and Veronica's quick to say, you know, I did hear from Ronnie, I did hear from Kellyanne. They both promised to keep me safe. I don't know if they're gonna keep to their word, but that's what I got. And they both it seems like they both decide that they've got to swing big at this point. They're like, if we want to win $250,000, this is the time for us to swing big.
To take out somebody who is going to be a threat to their money in the final.
Right.
Yeah.
And from what they've said in regards to Nehemiah, he hasn't won any dailies. So they're like, he's not as big of a threat as like a Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real here, obviously. And, you know, Veronica checks in with Derek. She's like, well, do you feel comfortable about this? And he's like, no.
yeah.
I do not feel comfortable about this.
And it's not going to be. I mean, it's tough from here on out. But, yeah, I mean, because they both know there's someone is going to come back in this house, very possible, with coming after them. There's already a target on the back because they have wins, especially Derek because he has most stars. And now he's also put somebody in. And he's won 2 in a row now.
Well, he didn't win last.
Oh, that's right.
He won the elimination and then the challenge.
Okay, but still, those type of things are going to be on people's minds too.
Of course,
yeah.
Especially because it's like the most current thing that happens. So it's the freshest in everyone's mind. So you vote in John A. and Jordan. This makes sense. These are big shots. Mm-hmm. John A. is the reigning champ. Jordan is just amazing.
And in between, they are sprinkling in things to do with Ronnie. This is where the foreshadowing
there's
comes.
been a lot of
I was a fan on Road Rules, and then when I did this, and I have a student loan debt that I can even pay off, and I have kids, and you're like,
absolutely.
Oh, here we go. This is showing. All right, now I understand where this is going. So, Johnny is going to go with Ronnie. Throw her in. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Outside the treehouse, there's not really. Naya and Ronnie call each other out in the thing. You don't know, Johnny's sitting there thinking that she, doesn't have anybody. So, yeah, there's not, and no one's working with Kellyanne. So.
And it doesn't seem like at this point now, knowing like how this episode goes, Jonna, Kellyanne, and Nia should work together for the next 2 challenges.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
now it's like even numbers.
Yeah, that's the other thing on top of it. There's nowhere in this treehouse that Ronnie didn't know where she fit in the hierarchy.
Right.
Sorry, producers, you fed that line to her. Do you feel like you're the lowest on the pecking order because she didn't give it to Kyla? She had to,
Kayla. You always say Kyla.
I know. And then so Kayla, and then she's like, well, now I know. Going from where I'm gonna stay, I don't want to ruffle any feathers in the treehouse. I want to show loyal to then be like, well, now I know where I stand. That was such a Fed thing. Like, how do you feel?
Obviously, one thing I did think about with that was Ronnie was getting lots of questions right, and Kayla was getting stupid things wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it made sense for Veronica trying to think about winning to give it to Ronnie to get Ronnie eliminated from the challenge, because it was just her and Kayla left then, and she's like, I'm going to get more questions right before Kayla.
I had no problem with the way she did this whole thing through. I'm telling you, I don't. My problem was that the producers forced this, because there's no way she did not know where she stood.
Right? Yeah, like we're in an alliance, and I have not talked game with you until right now. Yeah, that very obviously says I am the low man on the totem pole.
Yeah, I'm what they call a floater right here. So, yep.
Go into the arena. It's Jordan and Jonna. Jordan gives this speech about a tattoo he has it was somebody in Hercules.
Is it Antilles or something like that?
I
in
can't
Hercules,
read what I wrote.
The Greek god.
Antiochus
I
and
don't
Hercules.
care. I didn't need a history lesson. It was all right, and then just to
But he
show
said,
like,
I'm looking to slay a godfather. I thought that was like a good line.
Cool. It was. I mean, I got it.
Going for it.
Sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's called pull your own weight. You pull up a heavy weight with a long, rope string. Releases your puzzle pieces. Get your puzzle pieces out of the bag. You complete the puzzle.
Yeah.
Puzzle had, what do you think, about 10 pieces? Different shapes
sounds
and
about
sizes.
right, yeah.
Lots of triangles and maybe a parallelogram or two.
You think they actually pulled their own weight? Because that's what I think. Because when the guys went, they were struggling.
I don't know if it was their own weight, but I did notice. So the women went first, and I noticed the bags for the women. There was a little space in the bags left.
Okay.
And then when the men went, the bags seemed pretty full. So I think they put in like another, whatever, X amount of pounds.
I think you should have to pull your own weight if it's called pull your own weight. But
maybe it was.
I think it was. Yeah.
So women go first. Ronnie gets she's so strong.
Mm-hmm.
She gets her puzzle pieces, seems pretty quickly, pretty easily. Takes Jonna just a little bit longer. They go to the puzzle, and Jonna looks like she does this every day.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. Done. Check. Horn. It seemed so like quick and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Lickety split. Goes to the men. And it's a little bit more of a battle. It seems to take a little bit longer.
Oh, yeah. This is actually kind of nerve-wracking here.
This was very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
So first, like, Derek is like it's him.
Yeah.
He's just like freaking out, which I love that for him, like that he cares that much about his friend. They're pulling it. Kayla says to Brad, like, oh, dang, that looks really heavy, And looks like Mark gets it pretty quick. And then obviously with Jordan's hand, he has to try to figure out how to do it. And there's a shot to him talking about, he's like, look, like, I've dealt with this disability my entire life. I've had people laugh at me. I've had, to deal with this, whatever. And people still laugh at me. And, I, continue to compete. I continue to, go for it. I got teary.
How many times? What's the over/under amount of times that you have cried when he talks about his disability? Do you think you're in the double digits?
He doesn't usually talk about it.
How many times has he been on a challenge?
I can tell you when he proposed to Tori, I cried. And then obviously this I cried. So I've cried at least twice for Jordan.
Jordan is a tremendous challenge athlete.
Fabulous.
anybody that's really watching the challenge has been watching this, especially this All-Stars, has been watching for a very long time.
Of course.
We know he's got a disability. It's just one more thing that you didn't. I'd rather hear a story, more of the history lesson of his tattoo, than over this. Because, again, I'm not taking anything away from him. I just think he's making a point like, I've been made fun of, I'm showing this and that. And he is showing it every challenge he goes out to.
He's not trying to, like, make it
I
be
think
like...
it's producers force this again.
Here's why I cried, okay? This man is an incredible athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Likely the best or one of the best on this show.
Fair. I mean, they said we need to take him out. Yeah.
I forget about it because his life is about what he's able to do, not what he's not able to do. So I just forget about it. And I just...
Okay.
Watching him kind of trying to figure it out and stuff, and then they're getting ready to start the Celine Dion song.
That was too much.
And I'm hearing the first couple beats, and I'm just like, I'm teary because, like, I don't know. I have a big heart. All right, just leave me alone.
Well, you never answered my question. Do you remember the challenge when he had to do the sledgehammer?
The one where he won?
Yeah. Did you cry? Because they talked about it then that he had disability.
Likely.
What about the tug of war with Josh or whatever else?
No, because Josh...
He had to talk about it then because how he had to figure out a way to move it around his waist. And
yeah, but we all knew that he was going to beat Josh because,
Just ask a question if you
cried.
That's
a little
all.
Young in the head, that one. No, probably not that one.
Okay.
I'm getting more emotional in my old age.
Okay. These guys are just putting it together. No,
it's inspiring. It's inspiring.
Yeah. But he does have, and on top of it, how he's doing that, and there is a way like you have to pull those things out, and he's got half of a hand. That's for those who, if there's anybody that is new to this, he has half of a hand. So even when you're moving those things around, sometimes that can be something you have to figure out because you're missing some digits here and there. So it is impressive. It was completely. I've never had any like secrets that I'm okay with Mark, and I'm okay with Jordan. But I was like, holy crap in this one. Like,
I was rooting for Jordan so hard. And I like Mark.
Sure.
But I wanted Jordan to win it.
Yeah. And maybe it was the music. Maybe that's what got
me. Then they hit us with Celine Dion, but it's all coming back to me now. And then when I start listing the words, I'm like, this means Mark's going to win because it's all coming back to me now. Like, I remember how to do these puzzles. Yeah.
And he says, "This is what I'm built for. I'm not built for running a treadmill. I'm here to use my weight and use my brain." So, yeah, that's it. Yep.
Mark wins. Happy for Mark. Sad for Jordan. Jordan says, "Hey, Derek, that's how you win like a champion, right there." Which I loved that. He was like, you take your big shots.
Yeah.
I loved that, and that's what I've just enjoyed.
Or
about
that Mark
him.
hugged him and said, "Love you, brother. You're a hell of a competitor. Love you." And he said, "Love you again." While Derek was screaming "MF" or and that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say,
"Oh, I didn't take it."
I think
way.
he's saying Mark is the champion, is handling like a champion, and you're not.
Oh, I didn't take it that way.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. It's.
And Jordan was very gracious in his loss, as was Ronnie. TJ gave them both a very nice goodbye. Of course, Ronnie is upset because she's like, I don't have this kind of flexibility in my life. Like, this might be a one-time thing. I don't know. She's like, don't count me out. Don't count me in. Like, but if I do come back, like, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Jordan's like, yeah, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Then we have Nia, crying because they built like this relationship, and it's been really fun to watch, especially since they started out as kind of enemies for a period of time. So, of course, she's upset because that's the person she's been working with most of the game. That's been kind of her sanity throughout the game. So that's going to change things for her as well. And then we go into the preview, and it looks like she's like, I don't even know if I want to be here anymore. And they're trying to make us think she's the one that's going home.
Yeah.
They keep going to her. Because they're going to jump out of a helicopter, I think.
Yeah.
And she looks like she doesn't want to do it. And then they keep going to her. And then TJ's like, I'm so sorry, but this ends your time here.
Yeah.
It's daytime. They're trying to make us think it's Nia, but I think it's Veronica because of her injury.
I agree. Yep.
So that's the episode.
That's the episode.
Who won? Because I don't have one in my head right now. I didn't have one going in.
There was
your opinion.
There was a line, a quote that was said that right then and there, I was like, the episode has been won. I'm so excited. It is planted in my brain. Mark Long, if you can bring back the OGs, then you can make this happen. TJ looks at Veronica and says, "You're so smart. You should be on Jeopardy." And Veronica then says,
Right
"The
back.
idea of the world. The one thing that should happen, Mark Long. You're so funny, TJ. You should be on Saturday Night Live." And 1,000% he should be on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, you want to like host it?
Yes.
That would
I
be
want
pretty
Mark
cool.
Long to do that. Go to Twitter and use it. I think it would be fantastic. He's got all these shows to promote. There's nothing to do with like, well, this is on Paramount. That's owned by Peacock or whatever else. No, And if there's another show that I watch religiously, it is Saturday Night Live. I don't care.
Oh, yeah?
Every year, I don't care if people say this cast is terrible. I've been watching it since I can remember, and I always watch it every week, good or bad or whatnot. And I was just floored, and I'm like, Veronica, you won the episode.
Yeah,
And
she
that
did.
was it for me. She didn't have to do anything more. She didn't have to win. It was not going to change my mind. This is exactly what the social media should be for. Mark Long, us ourselves, TJ. We should get TJ on Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do. Yeah.
Oh, we gotta come up with a hashtag.
We will, yeah.
Help us come up with a hashtag to get TJ on Saturday Night Live.
TJ on SNL.
Yeah, it's not very good.
I know, but they're just
We'll get
letters.
there, we'll get
TJ,
there.
SNL. Yeah. Yeah. We'll get
Or do
there.
4, the letter 4, TJ 4 SNL.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Did I say the letter 4? The number 4?
I like that. Yeah, we've got to come up with a hashtag, but we do need to send it to Mark and Veronica and actually tag them. And
He retweeted us last week, so he's like, at least
yeah,
we've
he's
seen
reading,
our talking
he's reading
face.
them. Yeah. So I as long as he's reading them, that's what I'll make a ploy to do that. I think it's fantastic, and I mean, you cannot tell me that he wouldn't be good.
You know, he does music too. Like he goes
he
and
can
plays his
play, yeah.
guitar and does like open mic nights and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not saying he should be the guest.
I don't
musical
know.
guest, but yeah,
I'm just saying he's got lots of skills. Maybe
does.
this could be his thing.
I'm telling you, he could do it. Yeah, I think it's great. And then they can do a parody of it, and Colin Jost can play TJ or whatever else. Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
It'd
like
be
a
great.
parody of the
Yeah.
challenge.
So yeah, that would be good. But that's I mean, I was just
Okay.
right there. I was like, good
Veronica
for Veronica.
won.
Yep.
Veronica did win for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Her toe lost.
Yeah, we're gonna find that out. Yeah.
Who lost? Who lost the episode?
Who lost the episode?
Probably Wes.
Yeah, it would have been a complete and utter loss. There was an opportunity that it would have been him in that final, and he could have lost. I mean, in the elimination in the arena, and he could have lost it. And it was all because of this gamble that he may or may not have taken. He says he did. We have to believe him. Everything else, but I just don't like that there wasn't really more of a follow up to be like, well, that bit me in the ass. I would have appreciated that, but there wasn't.
Cringeworthy moment was absolutely Lance Armstrong, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down, the cringeworthy moment. Best line?
It's SNL.
Oh, yeah, that's the best line.
Yeah, should be on Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
I also did like Wes's, just because they're all-star doesn't mean they're bright.
Yeah, that was a good one too. And I think I would have put that in. If we're going to rename the title, I would have had something to do with that. Like, shooting. What was the name of this one?
Shooting
stars,
Stars.
but something to do with like, not so bright stars or something like that. But I get it because they're all stars and they're shooting. But if I'm over.
Lots of star titles to challenges.
Well, that was
Everything's
Shooting Stars,
star.
but the name of the episode was Let's Make a Deal.
Let's make a deal.
Because there was maybe 3 that were proposed. Okay.
Proposed deals.
And then no deals really came through though.
No.
That's the thing. They all
Let's make a deal.
Yeah, they all
Let's
no.
try
Here's
for a
how
deal.
long it went. Let's make a deal. No.
Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, so I would have something to do with not so bright stars or something like that. Yeah, because I liked where he was at with that because they were dumb. Man, honestly,
It's too late. Well, and Johnny made a really good point. She was like, it's too late for people to be trying to like align with people. Like everyone's been aligned already.
no, it's not because you, Kellyanne, and Naya need to get together real fast.
True.
Yeah.
Good
Not too
point.
late. Yeah. Common enemies create great allies.
You made that point last week, and
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely agree. Common enemies make great allies.
What would Bananas do? I think he would have taken that shot too, but it probably would have been if he wasn't working with the West. I think he would have gone the route of putting the stronger ones in the finals. Bananas
In the finals?
I mean, into the arena.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's the smartest
Yeah,
call.
I think he would have gone that direction too because I don't think so. There's not much he would have changed that around. And let's see, there's nothing really to provoke yet in this one at all. No one's really said anyone's name out there. So that's the other thing he likes to do is likes to get on it. Well, once they say their name, then they can't take it out of their mouth. So and
Right.
you can work that over. So But overall, this one episode doesn't have to have a lot of production to it. Doesn't have to have drama because really it's the trivia. TJ carries the entire one every time, and that's why we look forward to trivia. He's great at this portion of it, and he was awesome.
I do have a little bit of tea.
Okay.
Jenna and Zach announced they're pregnant again.
Okay.
Due in December, baby number 2. So congratulations to them. I also heard, so I listened today to Mark's podcast from last week, and MJ was the guest, but then later Wes and Naya came on as well.
Okay.
There was some good stuff with that, but Emily, his co-host, had brought up in regards to Challenge USA, she said they have partners as, like for the show, but each episode they switch partners. So they said that makes kind of difficult to form alliances because you don't know who you're going to be paired up with next time. So I thought that was an interesting concept.
Okay.
And it's going to be 90-minute episodes.
Yes.
Whew.
Yeah. We talked about that. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I saw somewhere on social media kind of picture of some of the Big Brother people, but it wasn't anything big, and I didn't click on it to read too much into like the details of it. I'll get to it, but when is that going to do? We just talked about last week.
July 6th. It's a Wednesday.
Yeah, well, that does not work out.
Yeah,
for
because you're
Saturday
going to
Night
be
Live.
in.
No, it just doesn't work for Saturday Night Live.
No, I think they have their guests just a little bit further in advance than that.
No, that's not true. They'll do that. I'm just saying they will not premiere until probably October.
Oh yeah, you're right.
September,
they're on
late
hiatus
September,
over the summer.
late September, early October. So all TJ's got to do is just kill it. So doesn't mean that there won't be a challenge on MTV or whatever else that he,
of course,
the normal one. So
yeah, I wonder when because that's filming now. That's season 38. Right. So
I don't care what's on. TJ should just host. It doesn't matter. He doesn't need to coincide with anything. So just get after it.
Should we get him on Jeopardy, like to be the Jeopardy host?
He would be great at that too. Gosh, there's not
no,
a thing this
guy can. People are studying for like months and months, and he's like, no.
Yeah, that would be really, yeah.
Daily double on that, wrong.
Yeah, but I guess, yes. He's like, whoa, you blew everything on that one. That was a bad decision. Yeah, what were you thinking? Yeah, that would not be cut down to like 24-minute episodes now.
I feel like we went through everything very quick this week.
It's just an easy episode to do that quick, though, because there's not a lot to it. There's not a lot, like I said, the skeleton is there. There's just not a lot of meat and bones to it. I mean, the meat to the bones, because it's just that easy. The whole thing is trivia. Like, they did a good job. Maybe it was a song, I don't know, with the arena, because I was kind of checked out after I did not pay attention that it was tipsy to the song or that there wasn't a theme or anything like that. I just know Nehemiah just said, like, I'm just going to dance a little bit, and they were doing like beer pong, but I was checked out. I didn't care that much about their,
authority.
But when they finally were getting after it, I was watching it a lot more. So, but it was all about the trivia in this one, and that's why I thought it went straight into the trivia quick too. There wasn't a lot of build up outside. Right. Here's
John
my phone call,
sad.
and she's sad. So, but that's it. But next week we'll obviously have a lot more, and we're getting
episode
down
8,
to it.
We are going to have 10 episodes because next week isn't the final yet.
Mm-mm.
So they have 10 players left now at this point. Next week we'll get down to 8, and then I think that'll be a 2-part final, 2-episode final. That's my hypothesis.
Yeah, because you know why? Because next week is the last sabotage.
No. This week was the last sabotage.
It's
already gone. No. So there were 2 sabotages, but one sabotage was for Brad. One sabotage was for Kellyanne.
Oh, so I read that. Didn't we say this last week?
Yeah.
I did it all wrong. Yeah, I still was under that impression.
You're still just like, there's one more.
There's 2. Come on,
okay,
there's got to be another.
Let's quickly, what do the stars mean? I have a new thought process on what the stars mean.
Okay, take me through it.
I think if you have more than 2 stars, you are safe right now. And anyone with less than 2 stars is eligible to go in for an elimination. Or the female with the most stars, the male with the most stars, take it to the final. Like whether you win the next challenge or not. So that would be Derek and John A.
So you don't even you can't be eliminated. So
that's like, I feel like there's something like that.
Because that would be if someone wins, and then it could be, then that's got to be down to. I don't know how that works out, but I understand. I like where your head's at because he has not said anything yet. So I like where your head's at on that. I'm just trying to.
Or an advantage in the final, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's got to be I can't be everybody with more than 2 stars, now that I think about it. Because, like, Nia has 2 stars. Jonna has multiple stars. Kellyanne has multiple stars. And then there's only 2 other women left, which are Kayla and Veronica. So does that mean Kayla and Veronica have to go in because they don't have enough stars? Or, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would have to be just the woman with the most stars, the man with the most stars, get some sort of advantage.
Yeah. There's got to be an advantage there. I mean, it's for something, though.
I would not hate it if it was safety, though. Like, take it to the final.
No, because, like, yeah, that shows... It's kind of like the Red Skull or whatever else. It shows
Right.
you have to go in. You can't. And, Johnny did say that. She goes, well, people had said I haven't been into an elimination, so I need to do this or whatever else.
But this was also her second elimination because she took out Beth.
I know. So, but she, I think she was saying when she won previously.
Right.
Previous
Yeah. Season 1 and season 2.
People were saying that she wasn't it. So, yeah. No, it was a good episode. I didn't think I didn't have any problem with it as far as from start to finish. Obviously, I can't. I mean, if it's got to be nerve-wracking up there, and so who am I to judge? But some of that's just really easy, and it's hard to blow it like that. But
were there any of them that you didn't know?
Yeah, like you said,
Kylie Jenner,
the elements, the Kylie Jenner, the babies' names. There probably was another one here and there, but.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think the White Claw was that impressive of a guess.
No.
It was like, yeah. I don't know why Jordan did not pause about the hexagon octagon.
Right.
It was
he
just
he said it so quick, and I'm like, that's an octagon, dude.
Honestly, and Jordan looks like it comes off as someone who probably really likes to watch UFC. So that's an octagon.
Oh.
Like it'd be like, oh yeah, I know stop sign because it's an octagon, and that's what they call you. Like, I don't know. So, then was there others? I don't know. I thought about that. I was like, well, wouldn't it have been fun if we took the questions, but I was like, then we wouldn't have been able to watch the episode. So it doesn't really make it that one a podcast. But yeah.
That one, that is a challenge I would absolutely do, though.
Of
that
course.
one was fun. That slingshot, that looked fun.
Yeah, and you know what?
Jordan had a really good.
I was just gonna say
it was so good.
He was like, I'm ready for
I made
this.
Charlie rewind it.
Yeah.
I was like, look at how good that
Yeah.
was, and then TJ even was like, nice form.
Yeah, he was really.
I got so excited I spit about it.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, I don't want that ever again. You can edit out that camera thing or whatever else. I didn't want to see the snot in Brad's beard. That part I did not care for. And then there's one thing we talk about, like, would you like to do this? And I'm like, no. I saw a cameraman that was just floating in that water with a camera, and I was like, absolutely not. I've told you guys this before. I do not trust things that live in water, and I could not do that job. That would be me.
Be the water camera guy.
That's where TJ would be like, you're quitting this job that you want, and I'm like, I'm quitting, TJ. And he goes, I don't like quitters. I'm like, I can't do this. So, and he'll say like, yeah, I won't miss you, see you never, whatever. And it's like, sorry about that. I can't be in that water. No. So that freaked me out. I was like, oh man, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for this week,
That's
right?
it. What we have an assignment this week though. Twitter. We're gonna get after it. We're gonna get TJ on SNL. And that's everyone out there. Get us a hashtag and leave us comments, whatever. On you take over the rest here. Yeah.
All right. Well, follow us on Twitter, Final Alliance 1. On Instagram, we are Final Alliance. On YouTube, we are Final Alliance Podcast. And Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, we are Final Alliance Podcast. Thanks for watching.